Less is more, as the saying goes, far from encouraging us to settle for the subpar, the underwhelming, or a general state of scarcity. This lifestyle approach aims to prove that minimalism can be as effective, if not more so, than any other. With the boom in mobile homes of all kinds, minimalism has become a word du jour, and it did so in a most organic manner. Minimalism and downsizing go hand in hand, and they would do so even if without the belief that fewer material possessions encourage a more intentional lifestyle. Put it in much simpler terms, you can't have too much of anything in a downsized footprint, so minimalism is the only way in which you can get any semblance of comfort. That said, this is minimalism taken to the extreme. Nissan has announced that its 2022 camper van concept MyRoom, which was formally introduced as a limited edition model based on the 6th-gen Nissan Caravan at the end of last year, is now going into full production. Nissan MyRoom will be available at local dealers later this year. Local is the key word here, because it doesn't seem like Nissan has any plans to bring MyRoom to international territories. That means that the rest of the world can only look, but not touch, and admire from afar Nissan's stylish and very minimalist take on van life. The van life trend started with the first wave of travel restrictions imposed by the international health crisis of 2020. Though described by many as a fad, it's still very much around today, fueled partly by the subsequent housing and economic crisis, as well as the extra mobility in terms of working hours, sparking the emergence of the so-called modern nomad. The MyRoom concept was also heavily influenced by all these, though it was never meant for long-term living. It's part mobile home, part hotel room-inspired retreat, so it's still essentially a recreational vehicle with clearly defined functionality, but one that aims to stand out with its stark minimalist styling, modularity, and quality. MyRoom is just that, a hotel room on wheels. As such, it comes with a modular design that offers a comfortable bedroom and a separate space that doubles as a lounge room, a dining area, or a workspace, though never at the same time. Its biggest draw is the minimalist, quite elegant styling with wood paneling and simple fabrics, which is obviously a choice meant to create that specific vibe you can only find in hotel rooms and spa retreats. In the back, Nissan offers MyRoom with two choices for a bed, both of the same dimensions. There's a configuration with a Murphy-style two-person bed that drops down from one of the walls and, implicitly, becomes invisible when it's pulled up and out of the way. The second option is your typical bench conversion, with the component parts stacking up against the wall during the day. Based on photos made available by Nissan, the former bed option has the disadvantage of not allowing the free use of the floating table that moves on longitudinal trenches in the wood paneling. With the latter, the disadvantage is obvious: you have to make up the bed every time you want to use it and then go through the same process when you're done. The rear seats swivel to face the interior of the camper van and are part of the layout. They can also fold down flat, which, in conjunction with the privacy curtain, creates a very cozy lounge area, made even cozier by the possibility to throw open the doors to let the breeze in. During the day, these plush seats pair with the tabletop slat to create the dining area or the workspace for remote working. Sleeping and working are about the only activities possible on board MyRoom because the camper van doesn't have kitchen or restroom facilities, nor does it have water or LPG storage. Similarly, Nissan has no plans to ever put those on production units. MyRoom has power though, via the portable battery from Leaf Power Station designed last year with 4R Energy and JVC Kenwood from repurposed battery cells from the Nissan Leaf. LED lights are mounted discreetly into the ceiling paneling, and you get outlets to charge your small devices while away. To vanlifers, or even many casual observers, Nissan MyRoom feels undercooked as a camper van, but only if you ignore the idea behind it, which is that it's meant as a hotel room-inspired retreat that's one step above traditional tent camping. It's the less is more approach applied to van life. Nissan believes there's a market for an RV of this kind, so MyRoom will arrive at dealers in several trims, with two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive options, and prices starting at around $38,000.